Well, hello everybody. So my components came in today, and I'm going to start off by showing you what I've done with the transistors that came in. So if you look here, what I've done is I've taken the characteristics off of the schematic, so I know which components are in the preamp, the bass preamp, the mic preamp, the power amp, the reverb, the tremolo sections. I've marked the indicator spot on the board where the component goes, and I've actually taken the actual components and taped them down next to each section, and I measured each one of them with my DCA Pro. Right, so I've confirmed that they're good first of all. So I've measured every component, and you'll see I've taken some notes for each one. Okay, and what I did is I put that into a little table. So I've got the table here, and you'll see I've got the board spot identified, the type of transistor it is, the characteristics, which is an NPN primarily, except for a few, and I've got the HFE listed there, and then the pin configuration. And the reason why I did this is if you use the HFE, which is the DC current gain ratio of the collector less leakage to the base, it's actually good for comparing components to see if they're of similar value. So if you look at the 2N3391, you'll see that the HFE came up with a value of 328. If you look at Q4, which is a 2N3391, it came up with a value of 323. And then Q7 has 327, and Q9 has 316. Now, there has to be a slight variance, of course, in tolerance here, so I would assume that all four of those are matched very well. So that's what I wanted to make sure. If you look at the X29A829, you'll see that I had to substitute that because it's a component that's no longer made. And I had to do some research, looking at data sheets, and I've determined that the BC640TA is exactly the same characteristics. It's a PNP transistor. And you'll see there that the differences between the two are negligible. So same story. And the same thing is true for the 2N3393s. You'll see that the values are all pretty consistent. So we've got 158, 154, 154, 159, and 158. So basically, these components are just about ready for me to start installing on the circuit board. And again, before I install anything, I'm going to take a magnifying glass and look at each one, make sure it's the right component going in the right spot. Because I only want to do this once. I want to get it working. So that's going to be the next step. I'm going to get things prepped, and we'll start installing some of these, and I'll show you how that process works quickly. Okay? I'll be back. Okay, so we're going to start putting in some of these transistors, and we're going to start in the power amplifier section on the schematic, which is right here. And I'm going to zoom in and show you which ones we're going to touch at the moment. So we're going to start with Q10, which is a 2N3393, and Q11, which is a 2N3393. If you look at the circuit board, you can find those components right there. Those are the two components that we're going to put in first. Okay? So we're going to take our little sheet here that I showed you earlier, and we're going to look and see where Q10 is right here. It's 2N3393s. Alright, so that matches the schematic. And we're going to take the first component out. There's one. And we're going to take the second one out right here. If I can get it out. Okay, it's out. So when you look at these transistors, this is the flat end. You can see it there. And if you look at the diagram on the board, you can see that it shows you where the flat end is. Right? Right there and right there. So if I hold the transistor this way, that should line up. Okay? So what I have to do is I have to pull. Let me zoom this back a little bit. I've got to pull the center pin back so I have my spacing, like so. And I'm just going to try a dry fit and see if I can get it to go in. Perfect. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to pull the back pin out like this. I'm going to bring these a little bit closer together. I'm going to put this right here. Okay, so let's take a look at those and you'll see that the flat end lines up. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this thing around. I'm going to solder them in. I'll be right back. Okay, let's get these soldered in. That's one. And the other one is right there. Okay, those are soldered in. Let's turn it around and check them. Okay, so here we are. These are nice and solid. Okay, so those are in, and we can mark those two off. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting in some of the other ones. I'm not going to bore you with soldering, but I wanted to show you where we are. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest in, and when the rest are in, I'll come back with a different video. I'm going to wrap this one up now, just to show you that we're making progress. All right. Thanks for watching. This is Ron. Oh, just one more thing. Of course, we're going to clean those solder connections with alcohol and an acid brush to make sure we get the flux off there. So I'll do that as well. See ya. All right, so we're going to start putting in some transistors. Let's just give you a reference of where we're going to start. So on the schematic, this is the power amplifier section. And if you recall, there's only two. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay.